They had him in their care. If they ever felt like he needed immediate medical attention, they would have took him themselves. They got Orgel and Tylenol because they thought the same thing that I thought. I never lied to Detective King. I did not. At the time, going through the process, I was numb too. My child was in the hospital. I don't know. That's all the shock. I'm numb. I'm not even in my body. I'm not even here. I don't think this is really my life.
Indicating repeated episodes of extremely violent shaking over time.
One of the worst cases I've ever seen, Judge.
How that's happening. There's a video of her out twerking at a bar one night while her baby's still on life support. Now, y'all worked diligently on this case over many, many months, didn't you?
This is the only thing we've worked on for myself and my partner, Sergeant Keene. This is the only case we worked on for about 3.5 months.
And is the reason for that because of the first of all, that this was such a young child?
Absolutely. And it was, of course, such a young child. And she tried to lay blame to so many different people to cover her tracks that we had to clear that.
So you had to go through and rule out every story that she gave, is that correct?
Every story she gave, she tried to say, Judge, that all of her aunts had done this to this baby instead of her.
You've dealt with a lot. How does this one rank?
This is one of the worst cases I've ever seen, Judge.
You can go begin and end.
Judge, when you read this pre-sentence report, it's long, and it's long because there's a lot of facts to this. There was a lot that went on and a lot of things that this defendant could have prevented. And I'm going to stick with the not taking the baby to the doctor. According to the doctors, when it got to UTMB, that there's no way this baby was fine. Even just hours before the baby stopped, was dying because the mother who lied to her relatives who said, try to take her to the doctor. She told her boyfriend or her friend or neighbor upstairs that she had taken him to the doctor when she hadn't. We had all the doctors check and she canceled the appointments for the baby. She did everything not to take care of this baby. And that's what a mother's supposed to do. And that's why in this particular instance, it's just a shame because this baby was only 6 months old, 7 when I think Jacaden died, but Jacaden was only a little over 5 months old, almost 6 months old whenever this happened, and then 7 months old when the baby died. And it's sad because Jacaden depended totally on the care that was given by his mom, and shouldn't have had anything happen to him. There's no record of anything going on specifically in the mom's life, except at that time, that weekend when that baby was injured, it was around that time that he was injured, was her birthday. And she wanted to go out and spend a couple of days for her birthday. So the defendant went out and had a great time. Baby was throwing up, having issues, and she did not take it to the doctor when she should have. And Jacaden stayed in the hospital even after the baby. Jacaden is in the hospital, and mom can do what's merciful and take Jacaden off the life support. She refused, and they had to actually take action to get the father to be able to take this child off the life support because it had been deceased for weeks and was just laying there. While that's happening, there's a video of her out twerking at a bar one night while her baby's still on life support. And then when she gets arrested and thrown in jail, instead of showing the remorse and acting like the nice person that she is, you've seen the jail records. You've seen the comments about the disciplinaries that she's had over the last few months in jail, where she just keeps acting up. She's not a good person. She's not a person that goes in and does what she's supposed to do and follows the rules and just takes care of business to show respect for what is going on and the gravity of the situation. It's all about her, Judge. This whole thing, every time I read this, and I've read the offense reports, I've gone through everything, I've listened to her statements over and over, and all I hear is it's all about her. Not about Jacaden, but about her. Thank goodness her other children have been taken away, and she's not going to have those. And I think that I wish we'd have taken Jacaden away, but we didn't know until it was too late. But I asked this court to give her the 40 years. I think it's a fair offer. I don't think there's anything less that could be fair in this situation.
Go to maybe the lower end of the range. And Anisha, you want to tell the judge anything?
Yes.
Okay.
The statement Detective Kaufman just made was absolutely not true. And my family is here in the court today to attest to that.
To what? To,
That they did not urge me. They thought the same thing that I thought, that he was teething. We did not know that he was hurt.
he was teething?
Only thing that was wrong with him that he was showing signs of was irritableness. Irritableness. That was it. He did not show signs that he had an internal injury that could cause his death. That is absolutely not true. My family has 100% supported me. They never went against me on that. Ever. They did the same thing 3 days prior to my birthday, which was September 22nd. He went with them. He went with them on actually my birthday was September 22nd. That was a Thursday. He went with them on September 23rd on a Friday. He was there from September 23rd to September 25th. They had him in their care. If they ever felt like he needed immediate medical attention, they would have took him themselves. They got Orgel and Tylenol because they thought the same thing that I thought. I never lied to Detective King. I did not. At the time, going through the process, I was numb too. My child was in the hospital. I don't know. That's all the shock. I'm numb. I'm not even in my body. I'm not even here. I don't think this is really my life. So yes, some details I forgot to tell him, like I left him with someone for 2 hours. But I always told him, the question he asked me was, did my children handle him? My children at the time were 5 and 2 years old. My children never handled Jacaden. The children upstairs, the teenager and the 8, 7, and 6-year-old did.
Oh, so it's somebody else's fault? Children?
No, I don't blame anybody. It's my fault for allowing them to even
Are
take
they
it out
the
of my
ones that
sight.
caused the injuries?
The
children caused
the
Hold
trauma,
on, let
the
me
fault.
speak. Let me speak. She can't take down everything when two people are speaking at one
Yes,
time. I'm
sir.
going to ask you questions on this so that we can kind of have a dialogue. Are you saying someone else caused the injuries, not you?
My choice of allowing someone to
I'm
handle
asking
him.
you just yes or no. Are you saying someone else caused these injuries, not you?
Physically, yes, sir.
Who?
A child.
Which child?
Children.
What child?
Upstairs neighbors, and I told them that they could go play back the video to see them taking him upstairs and then bringing him back down and telling
Did you
me
see them harm the child?
I wasn't in the house.
Did you see them harm the child?
No, sir, I wasn't in the house. They came back and told me
How
that
long
they
did they
dropped
get
him.
the child?
About 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Okay. Keep going.
I take full responsibility for not getting my child to the hospital. I take full responsibility for making me out to be this monster. I hurt my child. I didn't care. That's a lie. That's a lie. And of course, I'm a mother. I'm losing my child. I don't want to take him off life support. I couldn't make that decision. I could not make that decision. I didn't want to let him go. I didn't.
So what about that?
That's what they said. I made the selfish decision of not taking him off life support. That was the state statement. That's not true. I just could not let my child go because I was responsible.
Is that why you didn't bring the child to help, to medical?
He was hurt.
Is that what you're saying? That was why you hesitated bringing the child for medical help?
Yes, I didn't know.
Okay, I understand what you're trying to say.
I didn't know he was hurt. I did not know.
Okay. What else?
I've been a single mother since I became a mother.
A lot of single mothers are out there.
I've been a single mother. I've never had an instance where any of my children have been hurt or anything like that. This happened with Jacaden. And I blame myself every day for allowing the things I didn't allow with other kids. I'm not a monster. I'm not a monster. I don't hurt my kids.
Let me ask you, how old was the child when this happened?
He was 5 months old.
5 months.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some parts here in this report that say 7 months.
That's
wrong.
That's when the baby died.
I think
It's 6 months.
He was in the hospital for a couple of months.
He was in the hospital for a total of a month.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just not a monster, and my jail behavior is me defending this because people are going along with what's been put on the news. So I'm defending this. I'm not what they're trying to make me out to be. I've never been in trouble. My kids have never been incarcerated. Like you said, I have an amazing family. I have the support. Not a problem. I'm not a problem. But I take full responsibility for the misjudgment and mistake I made by not taking the responsibility.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, sir.
Okay. Here's the pre-sentence report, which has been presented, and is part of the record, which was introduced and made it part of the record without objection. We're just going to refer to a couple of these. And what we're dealing with is medical science here. This isn't a soft science. This is a hard science, medical science. So, this states that the detectives interviewed you at the hospital where you provided information where you provided no information about any recent injury or significant illness. Initial medical assessments indicated a severe blood infection, which I guess that's what you had told the authorities, that there was a blood infection or something?
No, that's what they found.
Well, this states that the bassinet's padding was heavily soaked with liquid far exceeding what would be expected from a single infant's urination. And a preliminary forensic assessment was made over the following days at John Seeley Children's Hospital, which diagnosed the child with severe abusive head trauma. Dr. Patricia Beach, pediatrician and forensic child abuse specialist there, documented bilateral widespread retinal hemorrhages in all layers of the child's eyes with bilateral retinal detachment and subdural brain hemorrhages, intracranial hemorrhage with traumatic encephalopathy and very significant injuries overall to the child. The doctor noted that the symptoms were compatible with head trauma because of the diagnosis of severe brain injury, became clinically brain dead with no hope of recovery, and was rendered blind by the extensive eye damage. He also experienced the worst case of detached retina ever seen, along with more than one area of bleeding on the brain. The doctor later explained to investigators that Jakaden suffered severe sepsis caused by intestinal bacteria leakage, which stemmed from brain injury that impaired the organ to function properly. She demonstrated that the injuries resulted from violent shaking, which lasted 60 to 90 seconds and placed the most severe recent traumatic event between September 20th and the 22nd, which was just a few days before the child's death. Dr. Beach confirmed that the CPR performed by the officers could not have caused any of the injuries and suggested that early medical intervention could have improved the outcome. A skeletal survey performed later revealed numerous fractures to various stages of healing. These are old injuries of healing across multiple ribs, indicating repeated episodes of extremely violent shaking over time.
That she had sought medical care. Statements later disproven by phone records, text messages, medical office confirmations, and witness accounts.
That is included in paragraph 3 of the second full paragraph in page 2 of the pre-sentence report. So three of the defendant's aunts who cared for the child each provided consistent accounts of the child's symptoms. They repeatedly urged the defendant to address them medically, and the defendant repeatedly minimized or denied these symptoms and claimed that she had indeed sought medical care, which was a statement later disproven by phone records, text message, and medical office confirmations, as well as other witness accounts. Picking back up, the defendant's behavior on the evening before Jacaden was removed from life support and died was captured in a short video obtained by the investigators. The video showed the defendant dancing at a nightclub. When confronted with the footage during an interview, she confirmed it was her who was dancing and responded that, "What's your point?" When informed that the video was taken on the night immediately preceding the planned removal of her critically ill infant son from life support. The investigator states that such behavior stands in stark contrast to the image of a grieving mother that she had otherwise presented to investigators and medical staff. And it certainly contradicts the way you're talking about what happened to me. That was true. You were dancing the night away before the child.
I do not think that was the night before he was taken off.
I'm sorry, that's what they say.
I don't remember. It was 4
You don't,
years
now
ago.
you don't recall?
I'm saying I don't remember when it happened.
I think things like that would be probably blazed into your memory, wouldn't it? I mean, isn't this important? Oh. So, the pre-sentence report from the probation office states, in summary, that the incident reports document a lengthy and consistent pattern of disruptive, aggressive, and non-compliant behavior by the defendant throughout her incarceration from February 23 through May of 26 at the Jefferson County Correctional Facility. The defendant repeatedly refuses to follow oral and written directives, argues with staff, creates excessive noise, openly disregards institutional rules. Her conduct frequently escalates into verbal confrontations with both the officers and other inmates, and on many interactions include hostile, profane language and personal insults directed to the staff. The reports describe multiple instances in which you instigated or actively participated in physical altercations. These include fights involving the throwing of objects, striking other inmates with closed fists, stomping, or attempting to advance toward others despite officers' attempts to restrain you, and in several instances, spitting on other inmates. Several fights required staff intervention through physical restraint, spray deployment, and on one occasion, the use of a taser when all other measures failed for you to gain compliance with the rules. You are also frequently involved in group disturbances, either as an instigator or an active participant, contributing to heightened tensions and unsafe conditions within the dorms and recreation yards at the jail. In addition to aggression, you regularly violate procedures and security rules, including entering unauthorized areas, refusing to rack up, go to bed during required times, returning to the dorm without permission, engaging in unauthorized communication with inmates in other areas, and failing to wear your uniform properly. There were repeated disciplinary actions for possessing or creating contraband, such as extra bedding, hidden razor, tattooing implements, ink containers, and a self-inflicted piercing. Reports also note instances of hygiene violations, unauthorized use of equipment, and attempts to evade or undermine officer authority by influencing other inmates or encouraging noncompliance among the dorm population. Many officers report that your behavior often disrupts institutional operations, including medical pass, chow, head counts, and normal dorm functioning. Your conduct is repeatedly described as inciting other inmates, creating hostile or unsafe environments, and contributing to escalating conflicts. And several reports portray you as openly dismissive of consequences and frequently stating that you did not care about receiving write-ups or restrictions. In later reports, officers have expressed concern that you demonstrate no sign of rehabilitation, continued endangerment to others, and attempting to intimidate the staff and some other officers, describing your behavior as hateful, threatening, or intentionally defiant. All right, well, those all going to get you gold stars. Anything to add by any of the parties?
Yeah.
Anything, Ms. Hawkins, you would like to add? You get to speak last. If nothing further, the court is going to follow this agreement of a cap of 40 years confinement. So within that, we are looking at no less than 40, no more than 40 years confinement in prison. And how did we ever decide on the deferred or unadjudicated probation?
I believe she's eligible.
She's
Eligible for that, but regular probation is not an eligibility.
Correct.
Okay. The defendant has pleaded guilty voluntarily to this first degree to take the child to a medical treatment facility or to a medical professional after it was obviously apparent that the child required immediate medical, not only a legal duty, but a spiritual duty to take care of children, especially children as young as 5 months of age. This court has read into the record innumerable circumstances where you have absolutely failed and neglected your responsibility given by our Creator and our law. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and you are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 40 years confinement. The death of a child, what is the cost? What is the right punishment? A child's loss is maybe the greatest loss that humans deal with on this planet. And I can't say enough about the special treatment that must be given to children from our Creator. And you totally failed, and not only failed, but attempted to blame others for your irresponsibility. I just wish we could have somehow, before this happened, convinced you of the importance and the responsibility that you had to your child and how that was vital to the child's existence. This is the order of the court, and we are in recess on this case.